The government in Ireland has taken Britain to the European Court of Human Rights. The reason is a British law on the Northern Ireland conflict, with which London wants to draw a line under the investigation of crimes from the Civil War period. Irish Foreign Minister Martin emphasized that this was incompatible with the United Kingdom's obligations under the European Convention on Human Rights. Oh, the Tory will love the mention of that one again. With the so-called Northern Ireland Troubles Legacy Act, there will no longer be any criminal or civil trials for murders and other injustices from the Civil War time. Relatives of the victims accused the Conservative government in London of primarily wanting to protect British veterans from legal consequences. Bombs no longer explode in Northern Ireland, and peace has reigned in the British region since the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, relative peace. But the wounds of the Civil War, which cost 3,500 lives, have not healed. It was former Prime Minister Boris Johnson who wanted to draw a definitive line under the bloody past by passing a law. An amnesty for all perpetrators at the time, and police officers, soldiers, and also paramilitaries from the Irish Liberation Army. According to the amnesty law, there should no longer be criminal trials for murders and other crimes that began during the Civil War. But anyone who attended the annual Bloody Sunday commemoration event in Derry in Northern Ireland would have guessed that forgiveness cannot be legislated. To this day, the names of the victims are read out every January in Derry city centre. On January 30th in 1972, paratroopers from a British special unit shot and killed 13 unarmed demonstrators and seriously injured 13 in the furthest corner of Northern Ireland. The event significantly led to an escalation of the Northern Ireland conflict. In 2010, the then Prime Minister David Cameron asked the victims' relatives for forgiveness, but the wounds of the massacre have not healed to this day. The affected families are demanding justice. They want the perpetrators from back then to be held accountable. They accuse the government in London of using the amnesty law primarily to protect British Army veterans from legal consequences. Politically, the British government is coming under pressure from two sides. In addition to the Irish government in Dublin, all political parties in Northern Ireland also reject the law. And this is causing anger in Downing Street, and Dublin's lawsuit is regrettable, writes the Conservative Daily Telegraph on Thursday, because Ireland is acting hypocritically. After the Good Friday peace agreement, the government did little or nothing to prosecute former Irish Liberation IRA fighters, they say. And for Conservative parliamentarians, Ireland's lawsuit provides just another reason to call for the UK to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights. The lawsuit also shakes up efforts to normalize the relationship between the EU member Ireland and London, which has been badly damaged since Brexit. Unfortunately, history and the path to relative peace were bloody. In 1916, the Easter Rising occurred. Militant Republicans were trying to force independence from Great Britain. The various resistance groups unite to form the Irish Republican Army, and the uprising is bloodily suppressed. Nevertheless, it's considered a turning point in Irish history. The bloody Civil War ends in Irish independence. And the result of the Civil War was the Irish Free State was created in the south of the island in 1922. Northern Ireland, which had already been formed in 1920 by the Government of Ireland Act from 6 of the 9 counties of Ulster, immediately exercised its rights to leave the Free State and remain part of the United Kingdom. However, in the hope of securing its influence over the new state of Ireland, England insisted that Ireland remain a member of the Commonwealth. Northern Ireland forms a separate political entity with its own constitution, parliament, and local government. The Free State of Ireland becomes the Republic of Ireland. It leaves the Commonwealth against England's wishes, but still claims ownership of the 6 counties in Northern Ireland. The emergence of a Catholic civil rights movement in 1968 led to unrest between Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland then. In 1969, the English army intervened massively. The conflict over Northern Ireland is escalating, and then during Bloody Sunday on January 30th in 1972, British paratroopers shot unarmed demonstrators. As a result, the IRA repeatedly carried out bomb attacks, including in London. About 3,500 people fell victim to the conflict in Northern Ireland, and around 42,000 are injured, depending on estimates. However, the majority of Northern Irish Catholics reject the IRA. On the other side are Protestant Unionists. They terrorize the Catholic civilian population. And on April 10th, 1998, an agreement was reached between the government of the Republic of Ireland, the government of Great Britain, and the parties in Northern Ireland. In it, Ireland renounces the demand for reunification with Northern Ireland. However, the Republic of Ireland is given a say in Northern Irish affairs. The agreement also provides for self-government in Northern Ireland with equal participation by Protestants and Catholics. And in May 2011, the British Queen Elizabeth II became the first British monarch to visit the Republic of Ireland. The last time a British head of state visited Ireland was still part of the when it was still part of the United Kingdom in 1911. The Queen's visit was welcomed by a majority of Irish people, and it is considered an important symbol of Ireland's reconciliation with the former colonial power, Great Britain. And in April 2014, an Irish head of state was officially welcomed to the United Kingdom for the first time. This means that the tense relations between the two countries appeared to be returning to normal at the time. And the left liberal British Guardian saw it differently. President Michael Higgins' 4-day visit to London represents an opportunity to continue the process of normalization between Ireland and Great Britain. But nobody should be deceived. The tensions of the past have not all been calmed down, especially not in connection with Northern Ireland. And today, really, the relationship is of course better than during the Troubles, but unfortunately there is still no talk of final peace and normality in Northern Ireland, thanks in part to the DUP's blocking of an executive branch in the Northern Ireland government. And not to forget all the politics they do in Northern Ireland and how they flare up conflict between people. And if you want to know more, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.